Well, hello. I am here with the incredible, oh my gosh, I love her so much, Iben Larssen. My name is David Hauser. I am an author and astrologer, and Iben is a wonderful quantum psychologist. And we are here today to talk, pick up where we left off, and to continue this awareness making thing with where we are at in the cosmos right now.
In the cosmos, and again, still in the aftermath of the post-election, we are definitely feeling all sorts of extremities, a full spectrum. Lots of people are still deep in a reactionary mode, and I would love to give the microphone to you, David, just to give a little bit of an astrological perspective, so that we can take it from there.
All right, so everybody's talking about the Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. Uh, we're in a new paradigm. We have to reframe everything and reframe and rename. So Mercury's new role is to take our awareness through the subconscious. So this is what's happening. Um, Mars is sessi square with Mercury, so we're all feeling like sort of a disconnect, out of sync with our mind. Our awareness is actually reassessing all these new things that are happening internally to restructure that the oh gosh, I know it so well. Anyway, the two hemispheres of the brain, neuroplasticity. Thank you. And Jupiter, and this is the big key to the story, because Mercury is in Sagittarius, which is about belief systems and expansion and benevolence and generosity and all these great things. But it is in an opposition with Mercury, which is simply telling us that we need to be open to changing our belief systems. And the more resistance that we feel to changing our belief systems, we need to surrender and allow, so that these new belief systems can fill in what these old belief systems were tying us to the old paradigm to. Another very important aspect of this is Neptune, which is squaring Mercury, basically saying, stop believing that your dreams are the dreams that you are meant to have, and surrender them and be open to the dreams that you are meant to experience, the real goals and missions in your life. And to support that, Chiron is trine Mercury, and it's saying, go back to your early childhood, the things that made you happy and gave you joy, and that's your dream. These are your dreams. This is where your identity was still connected with the universe and knew exactly what it needed to do. So with that, I'll hand it back over to you.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, right? There's a lot going on, and it's palpable. I mean, we can feel it. This disconnect that you're talking to, I think a lot of us are feeling a kind of a disconnect between the inner and the outer as well, right? We feel a certain way. So when we're in our own cocoon, we kind of feel that we're creating a reality that's aligned to who we believe we are, and then we go out in the world and we go like, what's going on, right? This feels like there's kind of a misalignment there, and I think it again talks to the fact that we are shifting, right? We are going from that old paradigm to the new paradigm, and the astrology is indicating that so vividly right now. And it is all about belief systems. It really is right now, because we are indeed co-creators, right? We're creating from our beliefs, and what we're seeing in the outside world is indeed, as we talk about a lot, the accumulation of and the concoction of all of our different beliefs that are being projected into the what we call reality. Excuse me. So fascinating that the planets are now pushing us even further into this deep dive, and really searching for what is our actual truth? What are we truly feeling, right? And digging into that subconscious part of us where indeed we have a lot of pre-designed beliefs that we have just adopted and downloaded from again our parents and culture and situations that we have gone through. We can even be talking about karma, right? If you really want to go that far. But the long story is indeed that we're dealing with this moment where we have to really start discerning deeper into what is indeed in our deepest heart of truths versus what it is that we're being bombarded with on the outside. And one of the dynamics that we see a lot right now, last time we talked about the perpetrator dynamics, and on the other spectrum of the perpetrator dynamics, we're seeing the victim dynamic. And a lot of us are feeling that. We're feeling victims to what is happening. And then again, if we look at politically, a lot of us might feel victim to what is happening politically as well. And that is something that I would like to dive a little bit deeper into today. I don't know if the stars also show a little bit in that regard, and I'll bounce the microphone back to you, and then I'll pick it up in a little bit again.
It does. You talked about karma. The South Node is sextile the Sun and Mars. This is like saying, yes, it's karma, all right, but it has karma to do with what your mission and purpose is. And the North Node is totally supporting our identity, the Sun and Mars, taking action by trining them. So it really is saying, this is a time to let that new self that you've been forming, that you've gone through so much suffering to deal with, to come out. Certainly, a part of that is the victim and the trauma parts, and with Saturn also playing a role to that, because Saturn, oh my God, was the one that, along with Pluto, that was putting that Capricorn energy on us to face ourselves and to transform and to get to the nitty gritty and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And it's squaring Jupiter and the Sun, so in Pisces now. And so this is an indicator of releasing the resistance, moving away from those negative programmings and getting back to
That's right.
seeing, yes, and seeing the truth,
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
Yeah, with Karen there, we're still dealing with the wounds, right? Just like you said, the trauma, the traumatic parts of us that still have an opportunity to be healed, and a lot of this victim mentality that we can buy into is indeed coming from, it's a trauma response often, right? We can ask ourselves, especially if we do feel victimized for from what's happening right now, we can look at where it is that we're actually victimizing ourselves. All right, we can look at where it is that I'm not listening to indeed that inner voice, my inner truth. Where is it that I am still giving my power away to an authority figure that I have chosen, right? Whether it is a parent or indeed a government, right, and everything in between. Where is it that I am allowing myself to still be victimized in my own behavior with others? Where is it that I allow other people's righteousness to dictate my beliefs, for example? Bottom line, where am I where is it that I'm not discerning anymore? Right? Where is it that I am indeed sitting in this pocket of feeling that I am powerless, or hopeless, even in these dynamics that we're in right now? And that often goes back to not being heard as a child. It goes back to not being seen, not being allowed to have a voice as a child. And that this, again, we have this opportunity, instead of pointing the finger to the outside and what's occurring in the on the big screen, as I call it, in the world outside, in what we call reality, really, again, take our own inventory and look at where am I holding these dynamics within.
It's really true. For me, is very visual. I liked EMDR because it really helps you relive those traumas, and especially your childhood stuff, and re-see them, re-experiencing them. And I think by re-experiencing them, your awareness as an adult can compartmentalize it as something that it hasn't been done properly, and that's why the trauma keeps regurgitating inside of our programming. But that was a very useful tool for me. Do you use that in your practice?
I have used it in the past, but it is, and I really respect that tool very, very much. It can be very helpful indeed. Yeah.
But I do think it's the re-visualizing those traumas that helps free us and helps sees us the truth. And not only that, but for me, I was able to sort of part the clouds and see the happy stuff of my early childhood, like being free and going out and playing in the forest every day by myself, and all my friends, the trees and the birds and the turtles and whatever else came into my life, were my teachers.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, with what we're experiencing right now, in this transit, it is digging into those deeper wounds, so that we can free ourselves from the shackles that we have put on ourselves. And it all often started with how we were obviously raised, in whatever situation that was. But it can be subtle, right? It can be just emotional. We don't have to necessarily grow up in a devastating situation to uh, not being feeling the shackles, or not having these kind of traumatic experiences, because the trauma starts with not having a voice. When we have not had a voice, or at least had the experience of not having a voice when we were younger children, then that will translate into how we behave today. If that has not been healed, that is a very, very, very deep wound for most people, is when they have not felt that they were allowed to have emotions, to speak truth, to be heard or seen, or acknowledged in whatever it is that they were experiencing as children. And I think that's playing out right now, especially if we allow ourselves to give the power to, for example, a government, as we have been doing. It goes back to that dynamic of parent and child that we're kind of reliving right now. And if we look at it through that lens, and it is for us to step away from the victimization of ourselves in that dynamic, and stop giving the power away to the government that we have been doing thus far.
Like we did with our parents or our love interests or companions and partners.
Yes, yes. Being a teenager is in principle that this is when we start kind of disconnecting and individualizing who we are. This is where we become rebels. We want to detach from that codependent relationship that we have with our parents, because we've given them the power. They had the power over us for so long, if you will. And it's very similar to what's happening right now. It is for us to take that power back. It really is.
I feel that our collective consciousness is developing its autonomy right now.
Absolutely.
It's in the infrastructure, the infancy of the infrastructure of remodeling through neuroplasticity and other things, via meditation practices, via talk therapy or other therapeutic dynamics. And with this, the sharpening of our awareness, and the more we can sharpen our awareness, the more that we can see the mind, the more we can understand the mind, and be more in control of the mind. And I really feel that these are the types of keys that we need to unlock those shackles that you're talking about, and to broaden our horizon in view on just how fortunate we are.
Mhm. Yeah, the bottom line is that how we feel is never anybody else's responsibility. That is, it's ours, right? We are not responsible for anybody else's feelings either. So again, this whole idea of giving our power away, and basically ending that dynamic, because we've been doing that for so long. This whole Capricorn area that we are have ended now with Pluto ingressing into Aquarius. I really feel that also again indicates our possibility to take our power and our autonomy back, and our sovereignty indeed, because that's where Aquarius also shines.
So this is where the bully stops. This is where Kronos, the ending of the Kronos story and the beginning of where uh, all of us as collective consciousness have the power to put these wonderful positivity things. I watch Megalopolis. I don't know. It's a new movie by Coppola, and it was really brilliant. I hope everybody sees this movie, but it really encapsulates everything that we're saying here, because the end result is, you know, through quantum synchronicity, is our view of what we see our now like, our future like, and how we utilize the stories from the past to help our awareness grow, and recognize the perpetrators in our lives and the perpetrators inside ourselves, like you were mentioning. And this is a big thing, the victimization. We've been really ingrained. This victimization thing has been so ingrained in our public narrative, and I think just by talking about it, and going over, those feelings with friends and loved ones, is also a great aid in unraveling the victimization.
Absolutely. Yes. And as soon as there's a hierarchy, and this is also what we're exiting right now, right, with entering into the age of Aquarius, is more of a, I would say, basically a solar system like constellation versus the pyramid hierarchy that we're leaving right now. Because as soon as there's a hierarchy, there is indeed victim and perpetrator dynamics that are brewing. This is what we can step out of. I call it victimitis, basically, because it has become almost like a shield for us to also not take responsibility, not take ownership, and not step into our sovereignty. It's going to take courage for us to really step into our full selves and stop playing small, because that's what we have allowed ourselves to do, is to play small versus actually truly stepping into the grandeur of who we are here to be as a collective. All of these beautiful, diverse energetics and frequencies that we are, that as a sum of these very diverse frequencies, we can become this whole entity, and that takes us all to step out of the victim perpetrator roles and just take our power back. And when I say power, I mean the power of indeed the heart, the power of compassion, the power of gratitude, and are we ready to actually going into this radical compassion, this radical love, this radical gratitude, because this is where we can truly evolve. and it takes courage.
Megalop- Megalopolis. That's the name of the movie. And yes, it has all these elements, and confronting the victim is throughout this movie, and it does give us a unique view on that, and what the future is. And it is all about resonance. It is all about frequency. This is the excitement of quantum synchronicity is understanding that it's all frequency, and it's through those frequencies that we recreate the particles that make up reality and existence.
Exactly. Exactly. And talking about gratitude, tomorrow is here in America. It's Thanksgiving Day, and I prefer to call it Gratitude Day. That's just my little thing. But what a beautiful opportunity to indeed exercise that radical gratitude and the radical compassion. I feel that they kind of go hand in hand, and this is going to be a time where indeed we're going to be thrown together with people that didn't necessarily vote the same way as we did. This is where we're going to sit down with family members and friends that look like they might be on the opposite spectrum. And what a fantastic time to exercise the exact opposite of being antagonistic. Oh, what a beautiful moment that we can take to really step into what gratitude truly means, and what compassion truly means. And again, like we talked about last time, actually listen to each other. Listen to each other with curiosity so that we can learn from each other, because from either side of the spectrum, we have something to say. When we step out of the victim and the perpetrator roles, we actually can find each other, and we can see how we actually all want the same thing in the end, right? We want freedom and safety. We really do.
It's really true. And with this Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius at this particular time, you will find yourself either reaching out to people in your past, to sort of
Mm.
settle things, or having people from your past come out to you. And the big thing is to not have some preconceived notion about who they are, what they are, where they're going, is to really do that listening, and really be opening to sharing love and compassion with each other, because people don't reach out to you because they want to have conflict. They reach out to you because they have a feeling about something, and they want to
They
share.
want to connect, right? They want to connect. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Some of your exes may be showing up,
Mm-hmm.
and just treat them with the same love and respect you treat yourself with, because of
Yeah.
your transformation.
Yes, and remember who you were when you were with them, for example, right? And how you have shifted, and that shift can that create space for growth, but it can also create space for disconnect. But we can still stay in compassion and still listen to each other.
And really, this is what this holiday is about for me. Like you say, is gratitude, and just being thankful for the people who love me despite myself,
Mhm. Yeah,
and who are willing to break bread with me and share a moment in time, because time is the most the biggest treasure in our life, along with love.
it really is. Yeah,
So
you can't
spend
buy time.
spend this wisely, and
Mhm.
keep that awareness sharp. I think that's really the key to our success in the long run, and for this glorious Thanksgiving Day.
Mhm. Yeah. Wishing you so much beauty on this day, especially in this time. Wishing you just connection, wishing you peace, wishing you compassion for sure, and just wanted to share my gratitude for everyone out there. My gratitude to you, David. You are such a shining gem in my life. Thank you so much for being in my life. And yeah, gratitude to everybody out here, whatever your beliefs are, however you voted. Um, however you live your life. Just gratitude and blessings.
Same here. Gratitude, blessings. I love you so much. Oceans of love.
Bye bye.